All right, Miles and I are out at Foster Creek. Today's the day after I did my first kind of benchmark, my first step towards Bigfoot 200 so far as long efforts go. So it's February 14th, Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day. But yesterday I ran over 35 and a half miles. Vertical gain was a shade over 9,000 feet of vertical gain, and obviously the same because it was an out and back for descent, so 18,000 feet of elevation change. We set out yesterday morning at 5 a.m. It was my friend Sheridan and Dave. Dave got us to about halfway through the out. So he ran about 9.5 miles with us. Sheridan and I completed the whole thing together. Start by saying last week I already had 62 miles on my legs prior to the start, so I did not taper for the effort. Just kind of had a normal training week, which obviously gave me a bit over 97 miles for last week. I Saturday ran with one of the high schoolers, and we explored a new trail, new to us, off of Trace Ridge, which was awesome. It runs on the ridge. It was really cool. I was a little bit worried because we did a good bit of elevation gain. I think we were over 1,000 feet for roughly 7 miles of running. And Friday night I had run a little bit further with them as well, so got in a bit more than I was anticipating, but honestly felt pretty good on Sunday. I had the daddy-daughter dance with my daughter on Saturday night, which was incredibly fun, but didn't set up for like a really good wholesome dinner. I really honestly did not eat a lot on Saturday night before the run, which was I was a little leery of that. I did get a good night's sleep, but obviously I had to wake up pretty early. My alarm went off at 4 to get going. And like I said, we were out at the trailhead at 5, and I was looking at the weather, and there was a chance of snow. Temperatures kind of mid to upper 30s, what it looked like, but obviously we would be going higher up in elevation, which there was an inversion. So if you see my Instagram account, I took a picture from Pisgah of the inversion, and the clouds were below us. Got a really cool picture of Frying Pan, the fire tower, kind of just poking out of the clouds. I didn't post that one. Maybe I did on my Strava, I'm not sure. But anyway, so I was, wasn't really thinking the temperatures would be bad. I brought a shell, my Bonatti Pro. It's pretty waterproof. It's a Solomon jacket. It was, it's lightweight, packable. So I threw it in my bag. I was like, well, I might need it. So I used the Rabbit Rerun. It's kind of their blended wool base layer. I used that for my base layer, and I had a Patagonia kind of mid-weight technical top over top. I had my Breath Therm gloves. I brought my Lucky poles, and actually I just used them from start to finish. And got to the trailhead. With my gear, I had 2 liters of Tailwind, ton of calories. I brought some scratched shoes. I had some power bar chews as well. The Scratcher, about 140 calories per packet. I had about, I think I had four, maybe 6 of those packets. The power bars are 210 calories per packet. Had 2 awesome sauces, which are 180 calories, and 2 Canterberries, which are 100 calories. So I'll talk about all that in a bit, but when I got to the trailhead, I saw Sheridan was, in his shell already, and it was windy, and I was hemming and hawing over whether putting on a shell would be too much, because we pretty much climb right out of the gate, and I usually warm them up pretty quick. But the wind was whipping pretty good, so I threw my shell on, which was the right choice. I ended up wearing it throughout, never got too hot, so I'd say I was pretty comfortable. I was using my Petzl Active Core, and I had it fully charged, which usually in full lasts about 2.5 hours on full burst, which is 450 lumens. So I didn't bring an extra battery, just because we were started at 5 and it gets light at 7, so I figured that would be fine. But well before 2 hours, I got the flash from my the headlight saying that I had low battery, and it goes into dim mode to kind of power save, just so you can at least see. And thankfully the guys behind me, their lights were plenty bright enough at that point, so I could kind of see. I didn't really have good depth perception. I didn't fall, didn't have any problems, but it was definitely tough. And then it started snowing, which made it really difficult to kind of see, headlamp or not. It was snowing pretty good on us as we moved up towards Fair Knob, where Dave would turn around. It was interesting. I was really surprised. I don't know if it was the cold that maybe zapped the battery, or if it was just an old battery pack. But I've never had one go out that quick. But kind of my fault for not carrying an extra battery. That was kind of dumb. Usually I have my belt, light that I use. So at least I have a secondary light source. But I figured, 2 hours of running, the headlamp would be enough. And I never would have suspected the battery to go out that quick. But lesson learned: carry an extra battery. Don't be stupid. I keep learning these lessons over and over again. Be prepared. Have what you think you won't need for that eventuality, which thankfully did not come back to bite me. Had it been solo, it would have been difficult. I would have survived. I just would have had to probably go a lot slower to start, which it was great. We started out nice and easy. We weren't really pushing the pace. That was awesome. My legs felt great. I was just, moving along well. I will say I probably should have been checking my watch more to look at how often I should be eating. That kind of came back on me a little bit later. I'll talk about that as I get through this. But I was wearing the Ultra Lone Peak 6s. They felt great. I had no foot problems at all. No blisters, nothing, no hot spots. They did great uphill and downhill. So really enjoyed those. Wore the Exo Toes by Exo Skin. They were fantastic. I wore the Cruise. I wore shorts, even though it was chilly. My calves did feel the cold a bit. Just having some slight tugs in my soleus gastrocs area, so lower calf. Got a few tugs every now and again, but no serious problems. No real pain today, or residual effect from it. but you know, never was too cold. Legs were never too cold. I was wearing the exoskin undershorts, the 3/4 shorts. They were great. So never had any problems, like I said, with being cold, even with the snow. I never really had any problems. I did wear a buff for keeping my head warm, and you know, kind of putting a piece between my head and the headlamp, which worked out well. And you know, like I said, I think gear choices were all really great. Aside from not bringing that extra battery, that was pretty dumb. My pack was great. It worked really well with the bladder. You know, like I said, I had 2 liters of tailwind, and the pack did not bounce at all. It was great. The BOA system on the raid light was spot on. Say, you know, it was secure to my body. Never felt fatigue in my shoulders. It was, you know, pack was great. Accessibility, you know, you just have to kind of get used to the pockets. They've got zippers, zip pockets, so how to get used to zipping and unzipping. Oh, I also had 2 Snickers bars, which actually, let's see, so the only thing I had left at the end of the run were out of the 6 scratch chews, I had 2 left. I ate both packets of the power bars. I had 1 gel of each awesome sauce and Canterbury left. So I ate both Snickers. So I had tons of calories, but even so, I was still pretty hungry at the end. I hadn't been eating at regular intervals. I really didn't look at my watch the whole time. Looked at, you know, when we got to the top, just to kind of see how much vertical gain we had gotten. But when we got to Pisgah, I looked at my watch. But other than that, I did not look at my watch at all. I just, you know, kind of enjoyed the moment when I started feeling a little bit either like my energy was waning or I was hungry. I obviously would eat, but I needed to be a little bit more proficient at eating at more regular intervals, like I practice in my long runs. I kind of attribute it to just, you know, actually just being in the moment and you know, not being really cognizant of what time I was at or what mileage I was, which was, you know, in a way really nice. But again, you know, for calorie purposes and such, need to be a little bit more cognizant and better of that, especially for SCAR, it being such a long effort. I really want to be more on top of that and kind of getting my calories a little bit more frequently. We came down from Pisgah, the halfway point, and we both used our filters and refueled our my bladder, his bottles. I had extra tailwind with me, but I was going to use a different flavor, but I still had the berry flavor in my bladder. So I didn't want to mix the 2 flavors. They probably would have been really nasty. So I just filled up with water, which could attribute also to some of the problems that or lack of calories, you know, that I probably should have had. So probably should have just dumped the bladder. I didn't want to take the bladder out. It was so windy that we didn't want to stop for long, so I was trying to be quick with filling up the filter, and I had to do the filter 3 times to fill up the bladder. So kind of one of those. I probably should have just taken the time and dumped the bladder, cleaned it out a little bit, and then filled it up with some more tailwind. I didn't turn it over and suck out the air, the bladder on my refill, so it was sloshing around. Again, you know, just rushing, not thinking about what I was doing. So these are things that I got to be more proficient at going into SCAR. And being able to just kind of stop for a moment, you know, put everything on hold for just an extra moment, just to make sure that I have everything I need, that everything is in place, that I'm good to go forward, because those are calories that I'll need to count on. So lesson learned there. because Scar is going to be pretty much self-supported, just as yesterday was. Sheridan and I ran self-supported. The parkway was completely closed, which was great. It was very quiet. We did not see a soul until on our return trip we got closer towards Bent Creek. We saw 2 runners, and then as we, kind of got into Bent Creek and near the Arboretum, we started to see some folks. But what a peaceful day, so serene. Big takeaways here were the extra battery for the light, which obviously for Scar, I will have 2 light sources and a backup light source, as well as multiple backup batteries. So, that will be taken care of. And then again, calories and making sure to take the time to filter the water for the bladder and refuel it with Tailwind. I think I'll probably just stay with 1 flavor of Tailwind. That way I don't do the same stupid thing. I can just pour more in depending on how much is already in there. Save a little bit of time that way, perhaps. So we'll stick to that. Scar is going to be through the night, so that said, I think I'll probably carry a caffeinated flavor of Tailwind, like cola, which I really like, and just do some individual packs and refuel with the cola as needed. And then same thing with like gels and such, just having some caffeinated options. As I learned at Hard Rock, it's great to have some caffeine in your pack to help you through the night. I don't know if anybody's gonna run with me through the night, which is fine. I don't mind, but I need to be able to stay awake. So taking that all into consideration. Poles worked out really good. They got stuck one time, and it actually just the Lucky has the glove and the shark bite release grip, and when it got stuck in the ground and I tried to pull, it just it released the glove, which was nice. I was worried that I had broken the pole, but the pole was fine. I just had to get it out of the ground and reattach it to my glove. The quick releases are working so much better than my old pair, so really enjoying the Luckies. They were great yesterday. My legs and body actually felt great. I did not have really any fatigue. I was still running fine at the end. We definitely, we hiked a lot of the uphills and such, but I never got to that ultra fatigue where you feel like, even the slightest incline you need to walk. I never got to that point. Legs felt really good, and that's all saying. I did that yesterday with my longest run prior being 3.5 hours. Yesterday's total time was 8 hours, exactly. 8 hours and a few seconds, which is exactly what I had in mind. I figured on 8 hours, and that's exactly what we did. And that's counting all of our stops, both like at the top to take pictures, restroom stops, filtering water. We did not stop to watch. So 8 hours total. Like I said, a bit over 35 miles. I think it was like 35.66. And 9,000 feet of gain. It was what a great day. Such a great feeling to kind of get through that and feel good. Out here walking today, my legs are not sore. They feel good. I probably could go for a run today if I had wanted to, but I'm gonna take the day off and just get this little active recovery hike in with Miles. Just kind of stretch out the legs. So very pleased, very pleased with step number 1 in getting the shut-in yo-yo. Well, basically shut-in plus Pisgah Summit yo-yo in and done. It's in the books. Had a great night's sleep. A little bit groggy. You probably can hear it in my voice. Definitely a little groggy. Not much brain fog. Doing pretty well. Got in some really good calories yesterday, especially with the Super Bowl. We cooked up a really good kind of root vegetable chili, which it tasted so good. Oh man. So I really enjoyed that last night. So like I said, got some good fuel back in me, got a good night's sleep. I kind of rehydrated afterwards, so did everything I could, and I think body's feeling really good today because of all that. Took care of myself, got my feet up for the most part yesterday afternoon, and just try to recover. So doing good today. This week is kind of a down week. Not trying to press for much time on feet this week, just making sure everything feels good. It's been a few weeks since I really took any downtime, so you know, this will be a good week just to kind of reset a little bit, make sure everything's good to go, and then, you know, get back on it. So that's what I got for you. Again, great run yesterday. I appreciate Dave and Sheridan for their company. What a great day. Oh man, so wonderful. And that's what we kept saying the whole time. What a great morning, what a great day, what a great run. So I appreciate that for sure. Hope you all had a great weekend. Once again, happy Valentine's Day. And like I said, I'll catch up with you guys probably, you know, towards the end of the week. I'll do kind of how things are going with recovery and such and what's been going on. So be well, my friends. Keep running. I'll talk to you soon.